All right. So if you've done the work from video 1 and video 2, it could be this phenomenon happening that also happened in class. And that phenomenon was that you started getting on your own back. Now, this might not have happened at all. You might have looked at these lists and been empowered because by looking at those deep rivers, you saw ways you can get out of your way. But so often, that's not what happens at first, all right? So at first, often, instead, you feel heavy. The feelings of depression come in. Sometimes anxiety comes in, and the mind starts chattering and telling you a lot of things that are not true. If that happened, stop the video. Go back to your Blue Truth work and work through some of that mind chatter. And by some of it, I mean all of it, all right? So if that happened, if the mind started telling you things, if your mind started tricking you, go back to your Blue Truth work, pause this, you come back to this, they're going to be there. So if maybe you didn't realize that the mind chatter was there, it happens. Did you miss a live shot? Did you miss that there was some mind talk in there that was eating away at you? So did you have a sudden headache? Did you suddenly get very tired and lethargic? Did you suddenly get really, really cranky and it's not hangry involved? Did you start reacting? Go back and see. Write out that mind chatter. You don't even have to know the live shot. Just look on that list of the punishments and see which one of the punishments is so hot. Which way you're punishing yourself or seeking revenge, which one of those is hot? And when you find it, pause. Get a piece of paper. Get something that's easy to write with, so maybe a Sharpie or a fat pencil. I don't think I have one of my fat pencils right here, but I really like the My First pencil. It's the fat one that's for smaller hands, but it keeps your hand from hurting when you're writing a lot. And just write that stuff out. Write line per line all the mind talk that you have based off how you're punishing yourself or how you're seeking revenge on yourself. And then use your worksheet that was in Blue Truth and go back to it. I just remembered that I'm not certain that I updated that worksheet for you guys, so let me make a note. I want to make sure that I do that. And if I did, feel free to tell me that. Thanks in advance. Tell yourself what's true. Use one of the techniques. Maybe it's the Ask the 4 questions. Maybe it's the One Belief at a Time worksheet. Maybe it's the More to Life Clarity work. Maybe it's the BlueRoof take on that work. But either way, get to truth. Okay, there is no truth. There's no forgiveness or self-forgiveness without truth. So if you've done this work and it's spun the mind chatter going, so that hamster wheel of just bullshit your ego is telling you, get to what's true about it. And then come back to self-forgiveness work. If it comes up again, go back to Blue Truth work and then come back to self-forgiveness work. And if somewhere in there a hot resentment came up about someone else involved, then do your forgiveness work. Do a forgiveness worksheet. All of this stuff goes together. And the more you do this work and the more you swim those deep rivers, the more you are able to see how it's all tied together. It's all interconnected. And that this work is interconnected. And you start to pick up on these subtle little things of, oh, my mind is racing a little too much right now for me to really be able to be engaged in this work. So I'm going to stop and do my truth work so that I can get to clarity. And from that more clear space, I'll come back to my self-forgiveness work. But here's the thing. You got to do the work. Reading a book, but not putting the information into your life in practice, so in practical form, or going through these classes but not actually doing any of the written work, you're giving yourself the short end of the stick. Forgiveness is an action. It's a verb. And it requires effort. You got this. You did the mirrors Thursday night if you were here. And you danced. You got this. So go back, look and see if there's some truth work that needs to be done, that you want to do, that you choose to do. And then come back for video 4 from that clear space of mind.